Today on Toy Domination, we are going to go over news-ish, kind of. Maybe some pre-orders, maybe some things you've already heard from other people, but now you get our spin on it.
Yeah, it's toy news. It's news, sort of.
Sort of. It's new-ish. It's relative. I'm Dom.
I'm Joe.
It really should be called, here's where Dom's money's all going to go.
I'll change this for next time. Here's where Dom's money is all gonna go.
So here's the caveat. We're not talking about everything. We're only talking about things that piqued our interest and that are probably gonna go to this house, right? So like we're tailoring down all that noise.
The Eternia playset. Part of me is like, I absolutely have to have that. And then a part of me is like, do I? Do I have to have? I mean, just having my Thundercats in front of that part of the castle would be super fun. The scale of that Origins figure, I mean, that's a 5-inch figure. That Beastman's like scaling the wall. Like that's.
I mean, you saw with He-Man just staying there under the mouth of that thing. Like he can stand underneath the mouth of it. No, it's where you're gonna put that.
It's amazing, and I think it'd be way more fun for the kids to have. It's like I want it, but at the same time, I'm more about playable space, and there's not a lot of playable space in this. Here's a back shot of the tower.
Oh, what's
there's some platforms in there.
No,
you can, go up and down.
Yeah. That's better than the old one.
It's for sure. I don't know. The center structure looks pretty awesome though. Here's a look at the snake tower, which doesn't seem to be much other than just like
that's because it was always the weakest one. And the Grayskull piece of it were always weak.
I think the Grayskull one actually seems okay. Like it's got some space in it. Like it seems like it's got something going on there, but it's really just like a support for the structure for the monorail car thing. The monorail car.
Monorail.
That's right, monorail.
Here's what I've learned playing with toys as an adult with kids. These gimmicks work on them.
Yeah,
grappling hooks, spinning things, shooting stuff.
That's kind of why I'm like, so I kind of want it for the gimmicky part of it, even though that's the stupidest part.
They will play endlessly on the monorail piece. They'll have dudes like sliding down it with their arms. Like you're not seeing this you're seeing this from an adult point of view. From a kid's point of view, like their minds are blowing up with options. Like
oh my gosh,
they're scaling off those things. Like so, what do you think it's going to cost? Where's your bar here for cost?
I mean, Grayskull was $99, I think, when it came out for the Origins line, so definitely more than that. So I'm saying conservatively 150, but it's probably going to be 200. It's probably
going to be going for 2. I absolutely was going to.
Again, I think it depends on the cost, and because I think this is going to be a crowdfunded thing, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
Who knows how they're doing it? I don't know.
Mattel's following the line of Hasbro in this one, huh?
It might, maybe. I don't know. They might just be like it's an exclusive. I mean, look how big that is. You're right. That is kind of big.
Well, Grayskull, you had to lock in your pre-order in order to get it. So like that's, and then you had to wait.
It might be something like that where it's just like, again, like part of my brain is like, this is ridiculous. Do I want that? And then another part of my brain is like, maybe I do. Maybe this is maybe I do want to be a chicken fry. I almost see myself like 3D printing like monorail pieces and just having it go all around the room. They can travel to your room. I drilled a hole through the wall.
If you buy 3 of them, you can just ditch the towers and really connect those monorails.
Just keep going to the rail.
Listen, I say you go for it because it's not my money.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You should be
That's money I could be spending on Mythic Legions. Well, why don't we talk about the gargoyles you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the gargoyles. Hey, you remember it was like months ago, maybe even a year ago when Goliath came out. I was like, do you think they're going to do the Steel Clan? Do you think they're going to do the Steel Clan? Do you think
I was like, that's deep cut.
Thanatos? Bam. Hey, so quick caveat here. Most of these photos are coming from Toyark or Toy TSI or the Fwoosh. If I miss crediting somebody, please let me know. Credit to the people who took these photos. I'm not trying to like steal from them, but Joe and I didn't get to go, so what else can we do than borrow from the internet? Steel Clan, and this is David Xanatos' suit itself because it's the red
they have the gray one too. They have them both, which is awesome. I hope the Steel Clan comes with a Xanatos. Like I want him to be able to like take that helmet off, so to speak, and be like, "It's me under here." You know,
head swappable. Yeah,
but I don't want to buy Xanatos in a suit. Like I don't necessarily.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at my collection.
No, never did I ever say like, you know what? I think I may want to army build some gargoyle line, but man,
yeah.
The boys and I have the Warhammer 40K from McFarlane, Batman Hellbat suit and put it in there, Firebat from StarCraft and put it in there. So I've got these big bulky boys of super armors. Those guys could be fitting in there too. And
sure, yeah.
And again, we buy to play. I'm not trying to recreate the cartoon gargoyles. I just want
we're buying something that like fits into those same
power
thing.
Armor.
I'm definitely getting Xanatos, the red one, but it's like but if I get the gray one, I'm like, I gotta buy two. An Alley Viper, I got two Alley Vipers. I got a bat, I got two bats. I gotta like it's just if it's an army builder, I at least buy two of them.
Some people may call that problem.
Sickness. Yeah, sickness.
I may just get all red. I may just get like 3 red suits or 2.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, like there's no reason not to.
And I feel like I owe a little bit of an apology, or maybe I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I know I bag on NECA for being fragile. They're killing it with the gargoyles lines.
There's still a fragility to them, though.
Like, I'm going to do an aliens video later on because I love the NECA aliens, and I'm going to kind of highlight like why I have that baggage. Oh, look at that guy! I want him to be fatter.
You know what it is? It's his upper body and his arms.
He's got vascularity when he shouldn't. He should just be fat.
You don't know anything about the gargoyle anatomy, Dom.
I know the show, and he wasn't that ripped. Like he's got
he wasn't. No,
in that cleavage of his pecs there. Like that's not it. Yeah,
it looks like the Goliath arms on that body.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think you're right. If I've already got Goliath, Demona, Bronx, I'm getting Lexington. I'm gonna get Brooklyn.
I've got Bronx and Hudson on pre-order. Broadway and Lexington aren't up yet, but
so that's what I'm saying.
If you're going that far,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what's 2 more? Like,
dove into NECA ever really? Like Goliath was my first NECA.
That's a good line to jump into.
I have a question about Lexington's wings because the wings on Broadway, Goliath, like obviously the Steel Clan the same way. The Demona, they're very stiff. They're very like they have there's no rubberiness. There's no flexibility there.
Yeah, that's true.
So like Lexington had those wings that like went from his arm to his body, and I'm like,
he's a flying squirrel.
And I'm kind of looking at that going like, how does that work? Does that when he lowers his arms, are those just stuck up behind him? Like I don't
behind like
I don't understand how that's gonna work with that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, he looks absolutely jacked. Like
look at the ribs. Like what's happening?
It's got a tricep, bicep, and then they just threw an extra muscle in there.
Again, I don't really care about the accuracy of the cartoon. We're not trying to recreate the gargoyles cartoon. We're just like gargoyles, giant winged creatures.
Yeah, man.
I'm in.
We played with the Goliath in our adventure game, and like he's imposing against the Mythic Legions and the Motu Classics. Like his wings are gigantic. He can soar over everybody. Yeah, really fun.
Let's talk about more from the NECA booth.
I never thought I'd be this excited with NECA. Go, you're gonna pull it up. I'll pull it. You.
No, you can do it.
Oh,
so good.
Just shut your face. I can't believe it. We did a TMNT video, and I was just drooling over this exact same Triceratodon from the comic books. And like, I even pulled up the comic book he was in, and like, that's it. That is the guy I was talking about. And like, he's so gigantic.
On the turtles note, like those turtles, that's my turtles. Like those are the ones that I'm like, that's so good.
That's the Battle for New York.
That,
classic Eastman and Laird Battlefield New York. And
like if I wasn't so far in on Super 7 Turtles, I'd be like, this is it. I'm buying all 4 of those.
See, that's the thing. I'm not. Do I want to break the seals and get into
I don't know.
NECA?
Look at those guys, man.
Oh man. And that you're right. When you said those are my turtles, I was like, yeah, those the comics that I literally have over on my shelf. That's great. This Slash though. Man,
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, just good grief. He encapsulates so many things pouring in. Video game Slash, toy Slash, comic Slash is all just piled into this one thing. And good grief, man. I've been oohing and eyeing over Super 7 this whole time, and here I am being like, I am probably gonna buy this Neca slash like
Warhammer.
So I don't know if this came out of SDCC, but it came out around the same time. And more McFarlane Warhammer figures. Man, these figures are so much fun. The boys and I took these guys out and played with them as like a squad, and I was
Look
like,
at
this
that guy.
Was
Good
so
Lord.
much fun. So yeah, so he's one of the corrupt, like one of the chaos guys, and then they've got an Ogren coming out here too. He looks cool. He's gonna be extra big. Cadian soldier, which is kind of like an Imperial Guard or kind of like a grunt guy in there too. So I love the diversity they went with this too. They went with a chaos guy, a regular soldier, and an Ogren, getting away from the Space Marines because honestly, of all the lore, I know Space Marines are really cool, and I love them on the tabletop, and I'm playing with them, and I love the aesthetics of them. But honestly, like, I don't like reading about them. I don't care about anything to do with them, blah, blah. I like the troopers and all the other stuff too. So seeing these guys come out here, I'm super excited about those. I am 100% in for McFarlane's 40K. I will gobble them up, and they're all going to be like a $20 price point. Like, it's awesome. That's cheaper than Marvel Legends, and they're 7 inches, and they're gigantic, and like, I love them. Love them. No. All this stuff. So I'm the only one buying things this year. This is terrible. All right. Well, sure. Okay. Well, while we're on Warhammer, bam, Joy Toy coming out. So the orcs that McFarlane is pushing out are like the orc bosses, right? These are more of like the regular orc boys, Daka. Like, so their Joy Toy comes in around 4 inches. These are all 5 inches, so they actually scale with the Joy Toy figures, which is really cool. So you've got these guys a bit bulkier, a bit taller.
Right.
They're also a bit more pricey.
$50?
73 freaking dollars, man.
Joy Toy, you're killing me.
There's no way I can do it. From the top left, you got the communications guy. In the middle, you got the commando, and then you've got the sniper on the top right. At the bottom right, I actually don't remember that guy.
Sniper.
Yeah, the middle guy, you've got the flamer guy, who I almost did. The left guy, though, he's a mechanic, has a baseball cap and a huge claw, and he's just wearing a jacket. The reason why I may pre-order that guy is because I can break from the 40K lore, and he can be a mutant that integrates into our other 4-inch game. So
that works. Yeah, that works.
Louise.
70.
It's $3, man. And there's a couple of the Joy Toy figures that are coming out that I didn't put in here because I saw them after this that are in the 40s, and they got this cool like mech armor guy, not a mecha, but a guy in power armor, and he's $63. I'm like, I can't. I think I'm walking away from Joy Toy Simulator.
Some of the mech suits for 1/18 are $109.
I know.
You're giving me a figure and a mech suit for $109, and that orc is $73. That's crazy. That's way too much. I love
Joy Toy. I'm not huge into Joy Toy Warhammer. I love Joy Toy, but man, the price is starting to steer me. I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Let me know why Joy Toy is so expensive. Maybe there's some other experts out there on the internet who can let us know in the comments.
I feel like at least a piece of it must be the Warhammer.
That licensing. Might be true. This definitely falls into the I don't have it as a classics, so I'm gonna go ahead and get her. She looks really tall here, like really tall, like almost one might say misproportioned, but I don't know. She looks cool to me.
Really tall? How?
Height wise. You know when you take a picture and you like squeeze it and pull it? That's what she looks like.
Okay, so her proportions are odd.
She does. That's what I said. You know what's funny? But they also got this Mythic Legions guy who looks very much like a strata. Super. I've been purging for the last 7 days, and I'm going to do a weightlifting competition. I want her. I do.
I think I'm in.
Yeah. I'll take the super creatine beef jerky.
She's beefed up Evelyn. It's good. I like it.
It's cool. I'm in.
It's the cloth goods mixed in for me. Like it's
really unique too. Cool. I've already pre-ordered. I've been waiting for a long shot. I have the Toy Biz long shot. Not really that thrilled about Dazzler. I skipped on the roller skate Dazzler, so this is fine. I have
X-Baby's Wolverine.
Yeah. I don't care.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're calling this a 4-pack.
Murder Maze! He's gross and awesome. You know what? I needed a Mojo upgrade. I think, Joe, if I can confess to you here in this safe space we're in, I think I bought that 4-pack, quote unquote, not for Mojo, but for Longshot. I'm pretty sure I got it just to get Longshot. I don't know why that mullet 3-fingered guy is so cool.
I actually weirdly love Longshot also. I can't say you made a wrong move.
As I'm looking at this, I'm like, Dazzler, Baby Wolverine, whatever. I'm giving that to Finn. Oh, cool. New upgraded Mojo. Oh, a Longshot. Did I just spend like $100 and whatever dollars, almost $200 just to get a Longshot? Like,
yes, you did.
This was a symbiote pack that came with Riot and then Agony, which was the female symbiote, and then a Venom where he has like the half thing. This is going out Amazon exclusive. I was like, what? Really? I better get on Amazon and go pre-order.
Gone. Yeah.
Gone. Toxin, I've got Phage, I've got all the other ones. I'm like, and Tristan loves symbiotes. I'm like, oh, sweet. I have another confession for you with Joe. The Marvel Legends figures, they just don't like me, you know? Like I get a Joy Tower McFarlane, I'm like, but these ones I'm like, oh, I got a Havoc. Hey, I got Havoc. I said, you know, or like, hey, I got Siren.
That's why I don't buy them.
I missed that 3-pack and I was like, but then I was like,
you know what it is with the current Marvel Legends for me? Like I was super deep on Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I had a million of those. And I got like every team. I had this Avengers team and this X-Men team. And I had like everything I could possibly have wanted. And then I was like, why do I need all these? And then I slowly started getting, you know, kind of thing. And then when these Marvel Legends started like resurging, I was just not in on the superhero toys almost at all at that point. I've missed the boats by so far that I'm like, like I'm not even remotely diving in on this.
I want to ruin toy news. I don't want to put a damper on this, but on that same hypocritical note, I have another. I love Terrax. I've always loved him since I didn't know who he was when I saw him as a kid. I was like, look at that. And Silver Surfer is tied for my #1 superhero. Hulk, Archangel, and Silver Surfer. And I can't name the flaming blue-haired guy who has Havoc's energy rings on, but I'll be happy to have him because I want a Terrax. So again, I'm buying a 2-pack.
I'll be happy to have him because I want the other figure.
Yeah, that's it. I'm buying a 2-pack. And again, I'm like, idiot. Maybe you should
just throw him in with adventures. He'll be like a water elemental.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, with the adventures. There you go. Yeah. Well, the boys and I will find some use. This is still me talking. This is still gonna be me talking, isn't it? All right. Well, I have this pre-order.
Gelatinous cube.
This is a no-brainer for me, man. A gelatinous cube. Now, here's the funny part: is I actually looked up on how to make your own gelatinous cube, and the only reason I haven't done it is because in order to make the cube parts, you take CD jewel cases and you take them out and you put them together, and then you do hot glue and you just. And I was like, oh, that's so easy. Wait, who the heck has CD jewel cases lying around? Like, great.
I mean, the embedded weapons in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's so much detail. The person with the arm sticking through there, like, this is great. So I am totally going to cover this with play slime. I'm going to surprise the boys and have it just sludging out. Now I have to I've got to figure out a way to come up with like the pseudopods to like actually reach out. I'm excited. I'm excited. I pre-ordered that, and what's funny was they had this and then the Tesseract cube with Loki, and I was like, too many cubes, Hasbro, too many cubes. So
why still all these cubes?
These are Beasts of the Mesozoic. Look at that freaking
Cyberzoic
Dino Rider, but like amped up to the 1000th degree. Like, holy smokes,
is that thing fantastic?
What is? I don't know how much it is.
Scale?
I don't know if it's 6 scale. I think it's so big. No, because the Beast
112.
Yeah,
the 6-inch scale. I meant
the Beast of the Mesozoic are actually a bit smaller scale ish, but they're really gorgeous. I almost bought a Raptor.
I mean, you could fudge that. If that guy is a quote unquote 6-inch figure, you could fudge other figures onto there.
All these big dinosaurs, and like they're really fun to pull into toys and play with them. And so the boys have gotten me on this like hunt for dinosaurs thing. So I saw this, I was like, good grief, man. Talk about fitting in between that like sci-fi and fantasy vibe of Masters of the Universe and then like in our world of adventurers. Is like, oh man, this is gonna be so much money. But I didn't even see the color shading on that thing I'm in. Plus it's got feathers. It's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur with
I mean,
feathers.
it looks fantastic. I mean, when the paint apps hit that, it's probably going to be amazing.
So, Joe, I have a lot of things that I really want to get. They're kind of all over the place here, but I'm pretty sure it's because you've, much like your Mezco, you've kind of dialed it into one, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll probably buy it. I'm buying all of them. When Sergeant Slaughter came out with for Action Force, I was like, yeah, I'm buying that because maybe I'll never get a G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter. This one's so much better. I'm sorry, Action Force. Sorry,
look at that guy's traps. They're gigantic. What is he shrug, like 300 pounds?
There's some weird things about the Hasbro version that I'm like, that's the one I want.
That's because he's like one step away. He's one step away from Bane, for God's sakes. Like, that guy's a monster.
Yeah, but that's what I want out of a Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah. Sergeant Slaughter for me is G.I. Joe the movie. Granted, he was in the cartoon and other places and everything. Movie when he's like training Falcon and they go on their little mission and they break into the bit. Like, so good.
Rise Serpentor Rise was a great
that was fantastic.
He was in there, and that was really good. Yeah,
and the funny thing is, like, a lot of people were like, "Why does he have hair?" Because like when you take his hat off for Hasbro, he has hair. Valaverse went with just full shaved head. The Hasbro, like, they actually have the hair under there, and I'm like, weirdly enough, that matters to me. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Dr. Mindman, as ridiculous as this body is,
very,
as a scientist,
very 80s G.I. Joe, very 80s G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I got him coming.
You do? How did you get him? Did they pre-order him?
So on Pulse, like he went up for sale like briefly, and then was sold out, and then briefly and was sold out like immediately. But like eventually they were like, okay, now he's on Pulse. So like I grabbed him on Pulse. Dr. Mindbender is one of those things where it's like, a little brain in a jar? Yes, thank you.
Hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious. The hands, I
want that. The skull, no, I want that. I want it.
He's fun in the same wacky way that Crocmaster is. So
yes, for sure. Same style of something that I'm going to pass on. Another Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and done. Moving on.
Another Crimson Guard.
I don't understand. This is retro, right? When you put something in another line, it's to allow customers who didn't get it the first time, right? So Marvel Legends does it all the time. They're like, hey, no one got a beast.
But here's a beast with a coat. Yeah.
Genius. So people didn't get him the first time, get him again, right? But this is still on pre-order and you're already putting it in a retro.
Here's the weirdest part about it. It's the last of the retro line. It's not like they're going to keep going with this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And like the HasLab His Tank is coming with a retro Cobra Commander. So if I didn't get the HasLab, no brainer, put Cobra Commander in the retro packaging. That's kind of my point. The original Crimson Guard is already the retro Crimson Guard. So like, I mean, yes, the face is more silver and it's a little more vibrant red, but like, what's the difference?
Cool.
I mean, it's Serpentor.
Read the comic books first. I was like, wow, Serpentor's amazing. Then I watched the cartoons. I'm like, this is not Serpentor. So
I command. Yeah. The way that G.I. Joe slightly scales up people and slightly scales down people to like make them so when you see him next to somebody, it's fantastic. Like he's like 6 inches taller than Cobra Commander, for instance, and so on. You know, like he's as big as Roadblock, you know, like kind of thing. Like he's huge.
Wait,
and I kind of like love.
He's a foot.
Well,
tall.
I mean, in his scale, in his scale. But like, you know, like 12-inch Serpentor. But I mean, the Air Chariot is cool. Like it looks pretty. It's super 80s and it's ridiculous, but I sort of love it too. I don't know why. It comes with a couple head sculpts like this one where like you can do like the snake hood, you know. So it cool. Comes with some cool stuff, man, and the cloth goods and stuff. But it's Serpentor. I gotta get him.
What's the price point? Because he's more than just a regular.
Who knows? Because he comes with the Air Chariot.
Do you think 80? Probably 80. I'm guessing 80.
I would bet 80. I mean, it's more than a Ram cycle in a figure, and the Ram cycle was like 40-ish, right? 44. Mm-hmm. So probably like 55, 65 in that range, maybe.
In this economy?
I mean, in this economy?
I make it.
These are just reveals.
Yeah, Copperhead was cool. Here's the weird thing. Copperhead, not really a character, and he came with a boat. He was a vehicle driver.
He's more of a character from the comics. Like the comics made him a character. The HasLab His Tank, which is extravagant and amazing and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't want that out of the classified line. Like I want cheaper vehicles, you know, like but give us more give us something more than a motorcycle, you know.
And
like,
the moccasin
like,
probably would have been a reasonable vehicle to have.
Yeah, a reasonable thing to create. Like the Fortnite boat everyone has been raving about in the G.I. Joe community, because they're just like, that Fortnite boat can be easily spray painted, turn it into a whatever. Next reveal, which fits with Copperhead, sort of a torpedo.
They went very nautical with this next live here. This lineup.
They kind of did, didn't they?
So it looks like with the mock-up there, they did the same thing with Demona with the face that comes off in there. I'm gonna take his face off,
like a sculpt where there's no mask at all.
Right. Yeah.
So I think the tube plugs into the mask, and the mask slides over the head. I think it's just one head sculpt.
Yeah, torpedo. I like him. Classic.
I want him, but at the same time, it's like an underwater guy. He'll probably end up hanging out in my kid's bathtub. Shipwreck.
Ahoy!
They went really hard into the Popeye the Sailor Man on this guy.
I like that they gave him a modern pistol, but also that stupid classic pirate flintlock with the lanyard hanging off. Actually, really like Shipwreck because of the cartoon. That's one of the few characters. Like there is one where he's out there like, all right, you guys, pipe it down. I gotta check out for cobras. And he's watching these girls go by in bikinis, and I'm just like, I love Shipwreck, man. He was in so many episodes too. Of all the guys, like
no idea
where they were melting and they made the clones that melted. He went in disguise with Snake Eyes underground.
Yeah, like, why is he in disguise with Snake Eyes? Again, I'll get him, but at the same time, you're going so hard in the 80s, like exact replica direction.
That's what the cynical, screaming, angry internet fans want, though, Joe.
I know, and that's why we're heading in this direction.
That's right.
Because they course corrected towards whatever the fans were screaming about, and that's what we're getting now.
And instead of getting like a Navy SEAL Shipwreck, which would make more sense in a modern era, we're getting a classic.
How amazing would that be?
It'd be really cool. What's coming out from
the last one
land?
Is rock and roll. Will I buy him? Of course. Will I love him? Not so much.
See, here's the thing, man. I don't want to like nerd out too military hardcore here, but that's an M60. He's carrying what is basically a Vietnam era machine gun into now 2022. No, that thing is a piece of crap. So like this again is like, yes, here's the rock and roll, the machine gunner for back in the day of the original lineup.
Why the bullet belts? We used to talk about this when we were teenagers, and just like really strings of bullets.
Just
and he has even more bullets. He has bullets around his wrist.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Around his wrist. The version 2 of Rock and Roll had that when he had those two like mini guns.
Oh yeah,
he was holding up, and then he had
At least those chain guns
around his leg.
Little minigun things that he had in version 2 were like ridiculous, but G.I. Joe. So it was like kind of like, okay, it'd be fine if you just did a slightly more updated version of him. No one's gonna cry if he doesn't have bullet belts across his chest. I'm kidding. Camouflage. They would all cry. They would all cry.
Olive drab, plain, non-camouflage pattern with an M60. The guy might as well have a draft card. I'll still get him though. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I will.
Hey, if you want to see more videos from Toy DOMination, check out these videos over here. I've been Dom.
I've been Joe.
Thanks for coming out and playing with us today on Toy DOMination.